What's up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video. Casual Friday. I just got back from the gym, but we have a very cool video for you today. Yveltal with Sucker Punch, one of the strongest new Pokemon in the Master League, was already a threat in the Master League. Now with Sucker Punch, it's even stronger. It's the number 3 ranked Pokemon in all of the Master League, and also spicy Tapu Koko as the third Pokemon on this team alongside Kyogre. Tapu Koko, with its unique typing of electric and fairy, can be a really solid core breaker to dragons, water types, as well as flying types, and can really be a menace to certain teams that are not expecting it. I've certainly run teams in the past that are double weak to Tapu Koko, where you see it in the lead and you're like, oh crap, what do I do? It's not ranked very high in the Master League, but with Volt Switch and Nature's Madness as a combination, it can be a real nuisance to deal with. Shout out to Bernardo F for sending us these battles. And here we go. We start things off. Yveltal versus Dialga, two monsters in the Master League going head to head. And we will see how this plays out. Going for the Dark Pulse, of course, for some neutral damage. Sucker Punches chunking away. Dialga going to fire off a likely Iron Head here at the Yveltal. And we are going to see a shield and not quite going to go for the Sucker Punch down. Okay, we see the Kyogre met by Landorus. Not sure what the opponent's going for here. The only thing I can think of is they're double weak to Kyogre, so it could be something like an Excadrill in the back, or maybe like a Mamoswine, unless they just miss-swapped. So we'll see what's in the back. But for now, Kyogre is going to love this situation. Gets the waterfall down, and in comes Yveltal. So yeah, the opponent messed up. They much rather would have come in with the Yveltal. And now, all of a sudden, this looks like a really solid situation for Bernardo. If they had come in with their shiny Yveltal, that could have been a different game, but maybe a little bit fortunate there in game number 1. Game number 2, Yveltal into Necrozma. We see the Rhyperior swap met by Mr. Kyogre. Double super effective waterfalls chunking away. Very refreshing for Kyogre, not so much for Rhyperior. Look at these waterfalls chunk away. Going for another breaking swipe. This is not going to really threaten to knock out, so waterfalls are going to completely farm down. And now Kyogre going to start to fire off these Surfs against Necrozma. Remember, Surf did get nerfed. Surf nerf. And it is a little bit more energy now. So it's a little bit slower for Kyogre to reach that Surf. I had a game recently on stream where I was like, oh, he's got us here. He gets to the Surf first. And then I was like, and then I got to my move first. I'm like, wait, what? And then chat was like, Rise, Surf nerf. I'm like, that's right, Surf nerf. And here we go, Tapu Koko in a battle of the fairies. Might want to put up a shield here. Moonblast, that does a lot of damage. Yikes. Going for the Nature's Madness now. Nature's Madness, remember, does debuff your opponent's defense. Does get farmed down, unfortunately. But this should set up Yveltal nicely. Lets it go again. Yikes. Why are we not shielding? Oblivion Wing coming through. This will knock out. How healthy was the remaining Pokemon? Super low and gets the Sucker Punch down. GG. Wow, that was really close. Holy cow. Okay, Rhyperior against Yveltal. You heavily resist the Mud Slap damage. You just have to watch out for that Rock Wrecker, of course. So Rock Wrecker is going to be what's threatening here. It takes 5 Mud Slap to get to Rock Wrecker. Great shield. Want to go for the Dark Pulse. Throws after 4 Sucker Punches. Perfect timing. Could honestly throw after 1 here. Instead, it's going to hard pivot into Kyogre. And the opponent elects to throw their energy here. And they breaking swipe. So a bit of a misplay by the opponent, right? They're only going to get off 1 move anyway. They may as well have gone for the Rock Wrecker. Okay, yeah. We're seeing some interesting plays from these opponents. Palkia is such a good answer to Kyogre. I don't know why they would swap out. But they do. And now Necrozma is going to get this farm down. So Necrozma does have a lot of energy. And going to fire off a move here. I think Yveltal might have got denied there. That's unfortunate. Dark Pulse resisted. Oh, baby. Everything's resisted here, right? Moongeist Beam. Apologies, I'm mispronouncing that move. Oh, and we anticipate the catch. Probably an Aqua Tail here. Beautiful matchup. Man, that Aqua Tail does so much. Tapu Koko definitely very frail. Just doesn't quite reach that same CP as well as some of these other legendary Pokemon. It doesn't even get to the Nature's Madness. Yikes. Yikes, dude. We got a shield, but we're almost at the double Dark Pulse here. So we should still be okay, right? Yeah. Double Dark Pulse should be enough to knock out Yveltal. There's one. And there is number 2. Yveltal, such a strong Pokemon. Was already strong. Now with Sucker Punch, it is even stronger. One of the fastest or strongest fast attacks in the game now. Tough lead here, but is actually going to stay in. Yeah, with Waterfall as opposed to Charm, it's not that bad. Shields the Disarming Voice. Going to fire off the Oblivion Wing here. This will threaten some heavy neutral damage. And does get a shield. I like throwing after 1 here. Put the pressure on. Wouldn't mind, honestly, like a swap into Kyogre at this point. Or maybe like an attempted catch. But maybe you just shield, win switch, line things up how you want. No? Okay, gonna let it go. Gonna let it go and gonna go for the farm down with Tapu Koko. Now, unfortunately, Primarina does reach another move. You probably want to shield the potential Hydro Cannon here. That would do a lot of damage, but you get all this energy. This is really nice. In comes Lando. Gonna fire off a Nature's Madness, maybe pivot right away here. This will do a lot of damage. Bang, does about half health. Pivot into Kyogre, met by Zygarde, and this is actually really good because shields are down. You're going to be able to land this Blizzard. Only taking 1 crunch from the Zygarde. Blizzard is double super effective against that Dragon ground typing. Blizzard going to freeze the Zygarde. 1 shot. Forcing Lando now to expend energy to take out Kyogre. And now you're 1 away from the Nature's Madness, and this will definitely knock out. Very nice. Despite a double ground backline, Tapu Koko able to get the win thanks to Kyogre landing that Blizzard. Tough lead here. Might want to pivot out. Yep. Safe swap Kyogre. Met by Mewtwo. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I think you can take 1 here. No problem. And then maybe start considering using shields afterwards. Would like to see throw after an odd number. So yeah, it would have been nice to throw after 1 Waterfall there to put the pressure on the Mewtwo, but now we're kind of forced to shield. Surf coming through. Let's see what Mewtwo decides to do here. Mewtwo gonna let it go. So we take back switch. Perfect. We take back switch. Florges comes back. Probably just let it go at this point. And then align our Tapu Koko with the Florges and hope that Yveltal has a positive matchup in the back. The concern here is a Moonblast would be really threatening, so you might want to actually consider shielding this. Moonblast would do a lot of damage. Oh man, that does a lot. But we fire off Nature's Madness here. Let's see if this goes unshielded. It does, that's huge. And then we swap in Yveltal, resisting the Mud Shots. And this is just a big bait game, right? Stone Edge not going to threaten to one-shot, but as you see, it does a lot of damage. And the awkward thing now is they can pretty much go straight Sancier Storm since we're so low. So this is not looking great, but it's not over. Especially because we still have Tapu Koko as maybe a catch opportunity. Got a shield at this point. The question is, can we get the farm down? Can we get the Sucker Punch down? I don't think so. I think they get to another move. So yeah, we're going to be forced to throw. Might need to make a catch here in order to win this game. And not going to get it. Tapu Koko still a little bit away from a move, right? Not quite at the move yet. And looks like Florges going to just outpace. Tough one there. G to the G. As long as the Mewtwo avoids the Yveltal, it's going to be not ideal, but a crazy good lead for Kyogre. Kyogre now in the lead, and this is perfect alignment. Perfect alignment. Should resist everything here. Tapu Koko, a hard counter to the Yveltal. Feels like shielding the Oblivion Wing was necessary, I guess. It is resisted, but because of the frailness of Tapu Koko, maybe you do have to shield. Otherwise, you're at jeopardy of like just getting too shielded through. Looks like we won the charge attack priority here. That speaks to the high attack of Tapu Koko, despite its lower CP. Tapu Koko going to double shield, and then maybe go for a Volt Switch down. Oh, they swap back in Lando. Well, this is totally cool, because they get off a move, but then we just surf it and knock it out, and then Kyogre's still pretty healthy. Stone Edge. Oh, wow. Really nice job keeping track of energy. Was able to recognize could farm all the way down. That's huge. Now you knock out Yveltal, and now Kyogre's probably going to get off another move against the back Pokemon, which is going to be Xerneas, and the opponent's like, yeah, I probably can't win this. Honestly, though, that might have not been over. That might have not been over, considering it was Yveltal in the back. The opponent might have been a little bit premature there. Beautiful catch on a potential Dark Pulse here on Yveltal. Let's see. Or was it Oblivion Wing? Nope. Dark Pulse. Beautiful. In comes Rhyperior. Shadow Rhyperior. I mean, this is... I don't mind this at all, considering you resist the Mud Slaps. They do bait the Breaking Swipe. Nicely done. Going for the Dark Pulse now. These Sucker Punches just chunking so much, because it's a Shadow Rhyperior. Gets off another Dark Pulse. Now, honestly, might be content just letting Yveltal go if they shield. Oh, gonna pivot. I love it. Gets the second shield. Pivot's gonna knock out Rhyperior before they get off their move. And this looks like just a commanding situation. In comes Yveltal. Might even live a move? Is that crazy? Yeah, that is too crazy. Not gonna live that move. But the opponent's out of here. Tapu Koko was too scary in the end. Amazing lead for the Whale. They swap Xerneas. Doesn't have an obvious answer. So going to stay in for a while and then swap Tapu Koko. Now, personally, I wouldn't really fight too hard for switch here. Shielding the Moonblast, that's fine. The thing is, like, you don't want to go down shield to that Rhyperior, because that could start to get scary. So, this is a little bit awkward. Moonblast. Oh, no. Yeah, so now we went down a shield and we didn't keep switch, right? So, I would have almost preferred we just... If we're going to swap in the Tapu Koko, I would just not shield at all. But now we're in here. The problem is with a Rhyperior lead, you would think it might be like a dragon in back, like some sort of Kyogre answer. So that's probably the concern we have right now. Shields the Rock Wrecker. That's good. Might try to snipe with a Waterfall. Yep, love it. Ooh, but the opponent saw it coming, so they did save Rhyperior. This game's not over, though. The concern is Rhyperior, I think, has the Rock Wrecker loaded, right? And we don't have a shield, so this is looking a little bit sketchbox. Little bit sketchbox. Earthquake nearly knocks out. Oh, could have gotten off the Blizzard, but that was really close. Surf does get the shield anyway. So yeah, this pretty much comes down to whether Rhyperior has the Rock Wrecker or not. Because we're going to be able to knock out, I think, the Zygarde with 2 moves. And 1 Sucker Punch should knock out Rhyperior, right? Oh, no. Oh, we get off the Dark Pulse. Because the Waterfall never registered before. Oh, baby. Come on, Yveltal. Come on, Yveltal. We live crunch. We live crunch easy. We have the move loaded. Oh, but it's Earthquake. We live that too. GG. I think Earthquake was the right call for the opponent. I think despite being double resisted, it probably still does more raw damage than the Crunch. So if you're wondering why they Earthquaked, opponent, what are you doing? Earthquake's double resisted. Don't you know your typings? I think that was the right play. I would assume that does more raw damage than the Crunch. Let me make sure, though. Handy dandy PV poke. I happen to have it open here. We got the Kyogre mirror on the screen. Zygarde against Yveltal. Crunch does 29. Earthquake does 34. Yeah, Earthquake does more raw damage. Surf's up, dude. Firing surfs back and forth. Imagine if you were like at the beach and you saw a Kyogre in the water. That would be terrifying. You know, is Kyogre based off like an orca or no? I don't know. Obviously the color scheme is different, but I'm just kind of seeing that sort of resemblance now. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe not. Tapu Koko against Zarude. You don't see Zarude too often. That's spicy. Zarude letting a full Volt Switch through. That's pretty convenient. Power Whip. Oh, that does a lot. Yikes. Did more than I thought. Yveltal comes in. Yveltal going to resist everything, so honestly might be content just letting this move go through, going for the full Sucker Punch down. Okay, no. Going to shield. Preserve some health, but still gets the full farm down. Oh, Togekiss in the back. Did we already know it was Togekiss? Or did Bernardo call that? Oh, yeah. Okay, we already saw it was Togekiss, so understood. Needed to preserve some health. I don't think we're going to reach the next Oblivion Wing, though. I think we're 2 Sucker Punches away, and the Charm that snuck through knocked us out. GG. Here we go. LNDS Trainer. Purple Kyogre against regular blue Kyogre. Waterfalling. Very exciting. Could be a potential Thunder. Do we respect it? Do we call it? Oh, great shield. Gonna build up a ton of energy. And go for the Surf here. Surf's up, dude. Gets the shield. Very nice. Goes for a catch attempt on another potential Thunder, I think. Unsuccessful, but Tapu Koko going to absorb a Surf here. That does a lot. Gets off a Parting Nature's Madness. The awkward thing here is this is going to be a sizable Snarl down for Zacian, and this could be a bit of an issue. Well, looks like they can't quite Snarl down. That's nice. They're actually forced to expend energy. That's pretty good. And then you probably come in back with Kyogre. They go for the Play Rough as to not debuff themselves. Makes sense. So now it's not as comfortable of a farm down. Kyogre going to be forced to shield probably a potential Wild Charge here. And then the Waterfall knocks out. I like the situation still. You got all this energy. Opposing Kyogre is in Surf range, so Surf knocks out. Oh, yikes. This is scary, though. This is scary. Surf gets the final shield. Banks a Surf. Now, let's see how much this Moonblast does. It's going to be close. Does Xerneas get the farm down? Not quite, and they can't really afford to debuff themselves either. So Oblivion Wing comes through, nearly knocks out Kyogre. Wins the charge attack priority. And that was such an awkward situation for the opponent. They couldn't throw the close combat. They probably had to go for another Moonblast maybe in order to win that game. Really awkward situation for the opponent. That's a tough one to lose. Tapu Koko against Xerneas. We've seen how much this Moonblast does. This does so much. Finally, we shield the Moonblast. That like nearly one-shots us. Technically, we'd like to do 2 Volt Switches here for proper timing, but that's all right. Nature's Madness connects. And we get this next one off first, which is pretty good. Putting the pressure on the opponent. They let it go. We take switch advantage. Beautiful. Okay, wait, what? Oh, wait, that's right. They swapped out. My bad. They swapped out. So now Rhyperior's coming back in. They probably let this go. We come in Kyogre. Okay. A little bit awkward here. Because we are down a little bit of energy. We're down a shield. And Rhyperior has energy, so I don't think this game is quite over. Even though we have the alignment. If, like, opposing... Yeah, if opposing... like, what do? Do we save our... Yeah, we save our shield. But we kind of have to save the shield for Rock Wrecker, right? I like this. We put the pressure on Yveltal. Make them decide. Okay, they use their last shield. That's big. We have to let this go, right? Because Rock Wrecker does more. Okay, we're going to shield it. Oh, he's going to let us come out with a Surf. We don't quite have it. Is this Rock Wrecker? If it's Rock Wrecker, it probably knocks out. Well played. Sometimes you got to tip your cap. Well played by the opponent. They made it uncomfortable. They made it awkward. And that's kind of the problem with Tapu Koko is in neutral matchups, it's just way too glassy. So you see the difficulty of using it. It's a really nice hard punish to things like the Yveltal, but in that situation, like against the Xerneas, it just is not comfortable at all. However, Kyogre, with its very strong stat product, very solid here against Xerneas in this neutral matchup. Gets the waterfall down, still super healthy. And perfectly fine just staying in here. Building up to the Blizzard, gonna bait the Surf. Would be really nice to grab a shield here. And unfortunately, they call it. That's always annoying. Pivots into Yveltal, and they're actually expending energy. Interesting. Oh, Outrage, okay. Normally you don't see Outrage on Zygarde, but coming in handy here for the opponent. Dark Pulse coming through. Connects. They're going to go for another move here. Might just want to sacrifice Yveltal at this point. Wait out the switch timer. Maybe you come in with, yeah, Tapu Koko this way. Get off of Nature's Madness to debuff them. And then come in Kyogre. Honestly, I wouldn't mind just staying in and forcing them to expend energy first. Yeah, I like this. Just let this go. Force them to expend energy. And it's a Dark Pulse, so you live anyway. I would just let it go again. So now they're pretty much dry. And now these waterfalls are going to start chunking. Would have liked to see one more waterfall, right? Want to throw in proper timing. Not give them an entire free Shadow Claw. This is going to be a little bit awkward. Because Zygarde... Is it in farm down range is the question. Or do we have to throw energy at it? Well, we're almost at the move anyway. We get the farm down. Pretty comfortable. Surf's up, dude. And Kyogre going to get the knockout. Very nice. Opponent might have closed their app. Maybe they're having a bad day. GG. Oh, it's nighttime now. Or maybe not. That was kind of weird. Primarina, if it's waterfall, this is pretty good for Kyogre. And you see that difference in CP. I mean, Kyogre just is so much stronger than this Tapu Koko. I don't love the swap out because, like, Kyogre, like, tanks that a lot better, you know? But we see Nihilego come in, and we lured it out, which is kind of nice. So now Kyogre can just clean it up. Can probably just tank a Rock Slide or whatever this is. Oh, Sludge Bomb, okay. Going for the Surf. Not sure if this is enough to knock out. I think Nihilego's on the bulkier side. Does knock out. In comes Primarina. We shield the Disarming Voice. Gonna fire off the Oblivion Wing. Let's see what the opponent decides to do. Are they gonna invest shields in Prima here? Yeah. I think we gotta put up our next shield since Kyogre is low. I like the timing, throwing after 4. Let's See what the opponent decides to do. They're going to put up their next shield. Wow. Do we swap in Kaio? Beautiful catch. Kaio might live as well. Oh, definitely lives a Hydro. And we get a free Surf off. This could be massive. This should put Necrozma into Dark Pulse range if it wasn't already. And oh my gosh, that is crazy. You know what's really unfortunate is that the opponent had the Disarming Voice. That might have been enough to win them the game because they wouldn't have had to take that Surf. But who knows? Maybe Dark Pulse plus Sucker Punches would have been enough anyway for Necrozma. Kyogre versus Necrozma here. I think we got maybe one more or two more battles left. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful for Tapu Koko. And credit the play from Bernardo here, right? Understood that you have a really good answer. So saved the energy from Kyogre. Didn't fall into the trap of like, oh, I can throw a Blizzard here or something. Understood, rather save that energy. Swap in Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko going to get obliterated by the Sunsteel Strike. That's all right. You can come in here with the Yveltal. Completely, oh, beautiful. So you got to wonder, why would the opponent swap out? Like, you've got a Ho-Oh in the back. You don't want your Ho-Oh to be in this position now where it's against the Kyogre. Timing could have been better on that first waterfall, or that first Surf. That's all right. Gets in some more damage here, and this is really nice because now Ho-Oh is approaching range where a charge move will knock out. I think it got a shield here. Oh, never mind. Doesn't shield the Sacred Fire. Well, now you have to shield. Now Ho-Oh is a ways away from a move. Oh, but they give the free farm. And that is a GG. This should be the last battle. Neutral lead. Kyogre into Ho-Oh. What am I talking? I still have the Ho-Oh on my mind. Into Mewtwo. Comments are going to make fun of me more than usual. Psystrike gets shielded. In comes Dialga. Doesn't have like an obvious answer. Going for the Blizzard. Oh man. This would be amazing if this lands, but this is high risk, high reward. Oh baby. Lands the Blizzard. That is huge. Forces Dialga to expend some energy here. Lives the Iron Head. See, I would have maybe liked to see you save the Surf for later and go for like a Volt Switch down here. But that's all right. This works out nicely because now you wall the Mewtwo off. Oh, baby. Well, Zekrom's going to heavily wall the Volt Switch damage. However, you're also walling off all the energy coming from Zekrom. Fusion Bolt's such a strong move, it still is going to hurt. But the Dragon Breath's heavily resisted. In comes Nature's Madness. Grabs the shield. Debuffed as well. And you get off this second one, and this should put you in a really convincing position. Because you grab the final shield. Zekrom's going to be forced to fire off energy. And I think you just saved the shield for Yveltal at this point, yeah. Save the shield for Yveltal, anticipating a potential catch, so went a little bit over, and then was like, all right, I got to fire off this move at some point. Bang! Knocks out Zekrom. Sucker Punch down. Maybe shield just to respect a potential like Focus Blast or Ice Beam. And it's just a Shadow Ball anyway, but better safe than sorry. G to the G. Thank you very much to Bernardo F for a fun submission featuring Tapu Koko, a spicy pick, as well as the strong buffed Sucker Punch Yveltal in the Master League. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, a bit of a longer one. If you did, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all of that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.